all the people who are holding vigils wherever they're at. Like Marty said, I was born in Fort McMurray. The first one in my family to be born in a hospital. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but just to let you know where we come from is that we have lived off of that land since forever. And it's with my generation that we were essentially pulled off the land. And I've come to understand a few more things in that the industries and the government knew what was under that land in the late 1800s. So this has been a concerted effort on their part to make sure that we were not strong enough to deal with what they decided to do with the land. You've heard about the boarding schools, the residential schools, where children were taken away from their families for generations, languages ripped away, ceremony ripped away, brainwashing gone on, children damaged in these schools, molested, physically, mentally, sexually, every possible way, damaged for generation after generation after generation. This is what happened. Okay, so there's that, where the strength of who we are as human beings is taken away. And I remember the concerted effort that was placed on making sure that the people who were living off the land as trappers, as hunters, were discouraged from doing that. Being told that the ways of the bush are a way of the past. And the best thing that they could do is to get accustomed to the ways of the companies and the businesses and come to Fort McMurray and start living in that way. And they were successful. There's nobody trapping in that area anymore. And when they built the road through, the highway through, see, they only worked with the railroad until 1965. That's the year that I left to go to high school. That's when the highway got built. And that's when the mining boomed. I went back for holidays and it was swarming, absolutely swarming from people from all over the planet that were there to make grots and grots of money. And nobody cared about the land. Nobody cared about the land. And treaties not recognized. And that's still going on to this day. They're really playing the shell game with who we are and what our legitimate rights are. So, my people and a few environmentalists have been fighting this for all these years. And it's been a solo journey. And there have been lives sacrificed. People have been dying with cancers that were considered rare, are now rampant. Young people that are so accustomed to funerals. Young children knowing that their mother is going to be going soon. That's going on all over the place. And this land that was so rich, you pull a fish out of there, there's going to be a growth on it. They pull fish out of that water, it's going to have 3 eyes, 2 mouths. You can't eat what comes out of that water anymore. You can't eat the birds. They'll go out and shoot ducks or geese and open them up to see if they're okay to eat. They're not okay to eat. You got to throw them away. And then they found some birds that didn't have the looks of being sick, and they took that to their grandmother, and she cooked it up. She said, they're no good. You can't see it yet, but they're sick. You can't eat from the air, and you can't eat from the land. And I remember these guys coming into the territory talking about, oh, quality of life. Oh, you're going to make so much money. To poor people, right? And then talking in all these terminologies and this legalese and all this kind of stuff from people that barely have any education. So, they're a cagey bunch, and it's been a long haul, and it's certainly not over yet. I just came back from Central America, where Canada and the US are working poor people over there. They're working Indigenous people over there, slaughtering Indigenous people, and they have impunity. They don't have to answer to anybody. So this is our job. We have to be the eyes and the ears and the heart for the planet. Because those people, those Mayan people, those Indigenous people that I met over there in those 3 countries that I went to visit, they're giving their lives, man. They're giving their lives. And by the work that we do here, it's gonna help. As you know, these guys here, they don't even know where blueberries come from. They don't touch the earth. They don't care about any of that. They got this stuff going on. But they go ahead with all of this. The CO2 level goes up. More water gets poisoned. The earth, the sickness in the earth keeps spreading. It's spreading like a cancer. That'll work. Keeps spreading and spreading. And the air doesn't have the boundary. It doesn't, oh, that's US. You know, it doesn't work that way. And the same thing with water. So it's a planetary thing that we're doing here. These lights are for the whole planet. So thank you. Thank you. For all of you who are here and all of those who wanted to be here. I know that there's prayers going on all the time. There's ceremonies going on all the time. And I remember hearing a prophecy from the mid-1800s from a chief back in my home territory, and it was the white people who were riding in the night and setting fire to the teepees because they wanted that land where that tribe would camp every summer. Everybody in the territory knew, and that's where Papas just camped. But no, not for these guys. They had to get them out of there. They couldn't build a railroad on this side of the river. They had to build it right here where they decided it was going to be. So, even with negotiations, talking back and forth, all of this kind of stuff, they set fire to the river. So, the men were extremely upset, the braves, and they wanted to go to war. Papas just was the political chief and the spiritual chief. So we went into ceremony. And when he came out of there, he said, you want to fight, and that's your choice. But these people, they have so many men, you can't count them. And they have so much ammunition, you can't count it. And they're blinded and deafened by greed. So you can fight and lose your life. But there'll be a generation of their children who will be our friends. So thank you for your friendship. And we're all children of the earth. All children of the earth. Because in your history as well, you had those ceremonies. And your history as well lived off the earth and had that knowledge. And you also were ripped away from your mother and severed from your relationship with creative voice. you were told that it had to be a priest that had to talk, or it had to be somebody else that was allowed to talk. You know, your personal relationship with creative force was discouraged. I know that because that's where I come from. And anyway, thank you.